And hello, everybody. We are back this Sunday. Welcome to the stream. Hope you guys having a great Sunday so far. A lot of people probably on the East Coast. Well, not on the East Coast. The East Coast is like past church, but West Coast and what's that called? In the Mountain Time Zone and then in the Central Time Zone. They're at church, so yeah, we'll have fun with that. But yeah, I'm having my own kind of stream now. So anyways, welcome. This week's lesson is again after a while. So we already got one viewer. Perfect. Let me check if I'm live really quick, and also if I can hear myself because last stream my microphone turned off because it wasn't. I haven't charged the case in a while, so that was on me. That was not like a restream issue. So my microphone turned off, and that kind of like made me look, you know, mad. But I can only be mad at myself for that. Let's see. Okay, I can hear myself. That's good. That's awesome. And I think I'm live. Should be good with what's it called? Wi-Fi. Hopefully it doesn't fall out or anything. It hasn't been acting up recently. I hope. Hello. Welcome from Yadkinville. It's an interesting name. Yeah, welcome from different places in the country, I guess, and the world, maybe. Who knows? Anyways, so what was I going to talk about? Another Sunday, another week gone by, and it's been an interesting ride, and yeah, I've still been on top of my uh, videos, AI generated presentations, and they have actually been, especially this week, they have been booming, which is a pleasant surprise because my last video, well, on Monday, last Sunday, right? Wait, okay, the second. So I did. I released a video that aliens build Three Eye Atlas. So it was just for those who don't know Three Eye Atlas. It's been all over the news recently. It's that uh, comet that a lot of people like are skeptics and they believe that it's a alien ship or whatever, and it behaves weirdly. I'll give it that, yes. But like at the same time, um, there are natural explanations for a lot of what it's doing, but like obviously there's only like now that still the government is shut down. It's like the longest running shutdown in history of the United States, which is that's another thing, but that's politics. I'm not going to get into that, but it does tie back to this topic because um, like there's no actual like NASA scientists that are working, right, because they're going unpaid currently, and so the only scientists that are basically taking a look at it right now are private what do you call them, private private scientists basically, and it's like a lot of them are just like out. What's that one guy's name? Avi Loeb. I don't know. Probably Avi Loeb, and he is like, oh yeah, they always introduce him as like, oh, he's a Harvard scientist, and he's here to bring his expertise or whatever. But 95% of his claims, and that's like he's apparently like notorious for this. This is not only about Three Eye Atlas. This is like about every single uh, a little. If a space object behaves just a little bit like beyond what hasn't been explained yet, then it's immediately like, oh, it's aliens. It has to be aliens. So that's the only like scientist that they've been letting have to have a look at it. For some reason, they still have not asked any other scientist because there's apparently no other astronomer in the United States. So all the mainstream like stuff, like it was on like CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, all these mainstream media have done articles about him and on with him, like talking about it and stuff. It's and it's ridiculous, well, because there has to be like more astronomers than just Avi Loeb, and they just keep asking the same guy, like, what do you think this is? There has to be aliens. Like, what do they expect he's going to say next time? It's a little that whole situation is odd, and yeah, so that it's probably not aliens. I'll just put it that way. Now I just saw this morning, there's a recent news that they found like I don't even know what it was. They found like what obviously like the account that it was posted on was like this, UAP, unidentified aerial phenomena watchers, whatever. And they said like, oh, this comet is it has like little things around it, like those have to be like little particles. It looks like from afar, it's like they're bigger, obviously, but from afar, uh, you know, uh, from afar, it's yeah, like I said, but they think it has to be like minion ships, and it's being accompanied, and it's a vessel, like it's like that, and I don't know, it's just a little bit odd. So new comments. Yeah, exactly. This one. His cousins chimes in today. They're very moderate, too moderate for mainstream news. Yeah, um, like that's just a joke, obviously. But there have been other scientists that have now like kind of been um, in on this now. Thank God. But of course, they don't have anything spicy to bring. They're just like, yeah, it probably has a natural explanation. Which the news currently, they need headlines. They don't need mediocre news. So they go to Yasu Avi Loeb, who will tell them it has to be extraterrestrial, and so they can put in the headline, oh, Harvard scientist, Harvard astronomer, like highly regarded Harvard astronomer, says that 3I Atlas is an alien ship, and then they recycle it everywhere, and they don't even pay attention to the scientists that that actually know the answer, or like have a more built out logical explanation, I would say. So yeah, but no, yeah, no, nobody pays attention to them. Let me see, just if I can still hear myself. Hopefully, I can. Just check here. Okay, yeah, still agreeing. So yes, it has charged up. So I'm glad that's the case. Yeah, let me just open this one. This one keeps sliding out for some reason. Anyways, let's see. Boom, boom, and then cool. Uh, yeah, there we go. Cool. So, yeah, and the next one, this is a little harder to understand for me because it's like it deals with a lot of like metaphysics and all that stuff. But it says physicists just ruled out the universe being a simulation, and what it was basically, you know, basically like it would be impossible for there's still some questions around, at least for me, because they kind of like said, well, if there isn't like I don't know, like a super intelligence above us or whatever, it would need such huge computing power for all the stuff that's going on, for all the variables, and for the algorithm that has developed. It would need like an insane amount of power, right? But then that was my thing. I'm like, well, okay, but what if that whatever it is, like super intelligence, created this universe with these laws of like like physics and everything that you see, everything that everybody that all that stuff was just created by a computer, which might just be like one cell in another like giant computer with like billions, trillions of cells, right? Like where all these other simulations are running. They say like, oh, it will need a huge amounts of power to power this one. I'm like, what if they're just completely what we cannot even like conceive, right? Basically, like that is just there's just questions like that. So there's no simple explanation, but yeah. Then ChatGPT's lobotomy, because it has been giving some interesting responses to people, like, and so they kind of like nixed it from giving like what was it I'm just trying to give a specific. And one of them was like legal advice and medical advice and specific medication and that stuff. They're not going to give that. They're not going to. Well, ChatGPT is not going to tell you anymore. How much of what and which medication to take, or legal advice, because people just they love to especially in the U.S. Like it's just a state or country where everybody sues each other, and so people just are looking for excuses to sue these massive companies, and for whatever reason. So they found this reason, Like probably somebody's cousin got a bad legal advice. He got sent to jail for 20 years, something like that. And now his family is probably suing ChatGPT. I made that up. Okay, don't take my word for that, but it was probably something like that. You know, some stupid that some stupid poo, and yeah, so it's that's kind of stupid. And lobotomizing ChatGPT, I mean, you know, it's gonna definitely lose. I'm not sure if it's happened yet because it's still kind of normal for me. But at the same time I use 4.0 GPT-4, which is the legacy model basically. So I don't think they like banned it or banned that one from saying like this type of stuff. So I still get like nice responses and good responses, very like non-sterile stuff. They're trying to make GPT-5, I guess, into like a more of a Claude type model, and Claude is like yeah, that's just hyper regulated, hyper safeguarded, and it's I would hate to see ChatGPT go down that route because it would definitely just become another censored, sterilized model, and so that would, to me, that would not be good. Then next one is Apple's Siri. Oh wait, hang on. I skipped this one. Why leaving Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and NFC on 24/7 puts you at serious risk? That's another interesting one. Don't have all those things on at the same time because you just expose yourself to hackers. Yeah, Bluetooth, people can just connect to your phone very easily. NFC, people can just scan your stuff. Like you might have, make sure, for example, if you have Apple Pay or Google Wallet, make sure that each time before you use the payment method that you have to like scan your fingerprint before you pay. Because otherwise, if you don't have that set up, a person can just come up, and then they have those skimmers basically, right? But it's not like it doesn't work like that. But it's basically you can just like tap their device. I think they're specific devices, but they can tap their phone or whatever to yours, boom, and then they have suddenly all your card information, and they can go wherever and pay with it. So it's not a good idea. So yeah, and like Wi-Fi is obviously like again, like if you're connected to Wi-Fi for too long, you're basically giving, if somebody hacks into your Wi-Fi, they have a backdoor to access into your phone and all that stuff. So that's not it's not a good good thing. But yeah, so be careful around that stuff. That was the first video that actually went. I'm not gonna say viral, but for me it went like kind of a little crazy because it usually like they get, I see 14, 12, 11, 18, 11, 26 with the simulation, universe not being a simulation. This one I had 124. So yeah, that was the first one. And then the lobotomy had only 8. Well, surprising. But then again, Apple Siri gets a 1 billion AI power boost from Google Gemini. What happened with that was, and I'm not entirely sure, but apparently Apple, like, I vaguely remember them. Okay, and suddenly Apple. All right, I'm just reading this huge comment, and it's not even going to show up. Apple Inc. is on the verge of finalizing a landmark artificial intelligence partnership that could redefine how its voice assistant operates. According to people familiar with the matter, the company plans to spend roughly $1 billion annually to license Alphabet Inc.'s Gemini model, a powerhouse with 1.2 trillion parameters to underpin the next generation version of Siri. So basically, I think they, like I said, I vaguely remember them investing in AI, and just like that. And apparently, I guess that didn't go anywhere, and they probably just wasted the money, blew the money on something. Now they're getting a partnership of to get Google's Gemini into Siri, into Apple, basically. So yeah, like he says, Apple totally crashed and burned with this AI, so now it'll pay crazy price for Gemini. Yeah, it's $1 billion annually is a pretty big amount, and my guess is that with it advancing and stuff like that, it'll only become not only more expensive but also they'll probably expand it. Basically, is what I'm trying to say. yeah, so that's a interesting one, and yeah, so there was no real strategy for AI in Apple until recently. So they tried to slap something together very what's the word I'm looking for, um, haphazardly. That's the one, and yeah, so they slapped it down kind of haphazardly, and it very much not it did not go well for them. Anyways, what was also interesting is I'm not. I had a second viewer as of like 5 minutes ago on YouTube. That has not disappeared. So I only have one viewer on YouTube and two viewers on LinkedIn. One of whom is uh, well, me, and then the other one is my dad. So, but I kind of do know the reason. At the same time, it has happened before. But I did not. LinkedIn for some reason did not allow me to invite people to this event. I'm not sure if it was because last week on Sunday I invited like people, all the people like 3 hours before the stream began, and it is possible that like it didn't somehow reset or whatever. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe if I did it on a Sunday, then for the whole week, I'm like, I cannot do it or something. I'm not sure. So I could not. It just said like every time I tried to invite all the people, it said, "Sorry, we cannot process this request" or something like that. So I was like, I just kept wanting to do it, but it didn't want to let me. It didn't want to let me do it. So now, so so I invited no people, and I was also trying to see like how how it would work out if anybody else would uh, come watch, but apparently not that many. So it is what it is. I still do these streams because it's mainly because I like to have my own kind of outlet, I would say, just to talk about stuff that you know either was on my brain or I found or I made videos about, and that type of stuff. Uh, and just I guess a quick advertisement for what I'm also doing. For those who don't know, I'm not only doing videos anymore, or like the what's it called, video marketing and stuff like that. I'm also a licensed life and health insurance agent with Colonial Life. We do voluntary benefits, and so I can hook employees. Well, I can hook companies with more than three employees, or three or more. I think it's three or more employees with voluntary benefits. So, if you need extra benefits, and if your employees are paying a huge, deductible for their health insurance for their major medical or whatever they might have, then contact me and we'll see what we can work out. So, yeah. Oh, back to two viewers on YouTube. Awesome. Welcome, whoever this person is. Who wants to find you? Will. Who wants to find you? Will. The algo is now very screwy on LinkedIn. Yeah, the algorithm on LinkedIn is just, I don't know. It became weird. I didn't want to see it because I haven't looked at my metrics in a while. I didn't want to because I was kind of scared. But my last post got a total of 12 impressions today. I got 10 in the first minute. It's yeah. I don't know. They're kind of like um, they're kind of doing it like they are doing pay to win basically. It's a little stupid, but because they want you to like pay for advertisements to show your post everywhere. Because back when I started doing LinkedIn, like a year ago, it gave you a crap ton of uh, like that organic impressions and that kind of like natural stuff. Now it's like it's it's a little odd. Then like a post that I did, I had 9 likes. It only had 88 impressions. Like with 9 likes, it used to get like double that, right? 11 likes on my video, and I'll actually show that. I posted that to YouTube and to LinkedIn. It has 120 with 11 likes. Again, it would have like over 300 if it had 11 likes, right? So it probably shows it only like very limited to your LinkedIn. Again, my last stream 1 week ago, weekly wrap up, 11 likes, 43 impressions only. And then I'm assuming this is what I'm doing right now. That's only 50. It has more than the last one. It's weird. It's just odd. Yeah. So LinkedIn is very weird for posting. So if you I wouldn't encourage posting that much. Like sure, here and there, but don't post like every day. It's way better to just sit back and just build those connections, like in DMs and in comment sections. Basically, it's what it boils down to right now. But hopefully they kind of snap out of that. It's a little stupid. And yeah, I'll probably just skip to my short because it's already 20 minutes. Yeah. So my short that I did this week was last Sunday was Africa is splitting apart faster than expected, and so that was actually a pretty good success. I was surprised by how well that short did. It had like 2,000 views, and by the way, I still can't shake it because technically, I'll show you. Just a few months ago, that's true. That is true. Yes, that happened. Just a few months ago, your live streams got 1,000 impressions. This is 50 low pay to play all the way. So yeah, that is true because I had once. Oh man, it was like a while ago though. That was like, I'm gonna actually find that really quick because I'm actually interested in that. Like, thank you for reminding me about that. Past 365 days. Oh wait, whoops, not cumulative, daily. Oh, this is funny. Hang on, let me show it to you. Let me show it to you. So it used to, when you got into these LinkedIn statistics, right? When you would put impressions to past 365 days, it would always, and I mean always, be on daily, right? That's what I selected just before I started sharing the screen. Always be on daily. Okay. Now it's like by default on cumulative. They don't want you to see the daily because you know it's absolutely abhorrent. You know, so compared to like this stuff, what I did during over the summer, where I got, what was it, 3,000 impressions in 1 week. That was a whole different time, whole different bygone era. Unfortunately, hopefully it comes back. I would love to see it come back, but uh, yeah. So this one had the most impressions. Um, Colonial Life. Can I show more? Is it gonna be? Oh, what the? Can we see this? Oh, I didn't want to click on. What the heck? What is this one? Oh, here we go. Okay, okay, okay. So yeah, everyone says to hustle. Was a fierce sales pitch. Procrastination, not offering cast appearances. It had like, okay, so this one had 600 because it did. Okay, I'll give it that. It did have a lot of engagement and all that stuff, and 11 likes. It had like 7 or 8 peak viewers at its like. Hang on, let's see. 81 videos. Peak live viewers 5. Oh, 5. I thought I had like more. Still, it had a lot of engagement, and I was grateful for that. But it had 600 impressions. Now, like, you're lucky for 50. That's it's a little crazy. Coming up, I will go live on LinkedIn. Let's say, I should take it seriously. That was a pun. Back when polls were very like these grounded your freaking thing. Michael Reflection. This one, 477. Which one? Where's the? Because I did have a Coke-a-thon. So that was an interesting one because that was a what was it? 3 hours, 3 hours, almost, yeah, 2.5 hours. Whoever joined, thank you for, especially Amy. You were, oh yeah, and then I had a lot of like, again, a lot of engagement. So those are also fun times. I might do a Coke-a-thon soon. We'll see like how it does now. I'll probably do it. I might do it this upcoming Friday. So stay tuned if you're interested in me just sitting there drinking Coke and just talking about a lot of stuff. Yeah. So, but yeah, look at this, like all of this, and this would be like all the time, 400, 300, stuff like that. It would be so many of these. Cannot even scroll past. And now it's just terrible, absolutely terrible. So yeah, like I said, so that kind of proves my point. And then I did want to show the short. Load it up fast. Come on, come on. Dude, come on. There we go. Okay. Share this tab instead. Close this. Close that. And okay. So yeah, Africa is going to part faster than expected. Listen to this. It's very important. It's very yeah. It's gonna be tragic once it happens, and it is coming faster than expected. Remember, scientists are saying that. Brand new beachfront properties are being formed. Yes, you heard that right. They are being formed in East Africa because the continent is splitting apart. Previously, it was thought that it was going to take tens of millions of years, but now scientists have drastically reduced their estimates, saying it's going to be here faster than predicted. So start buying properties in Ethiopia, Kenya, and other such countries, because you will have brand new beachfront properties in, 5 million years. And you should also throw in a prayer so that the continent keeps dividing at a great rate of 6 millimeters per year. Or maybe you're just better off scrapping your East African beachfront property investments entirely. And what do you think? Are you still investing in this extremely lucrative opportunity? Subscribe to my channel, let me know in the comments. Yeah, so it is advancing at a devastating rate of 6 millimeters a year. And so so start buying those properties, start saving the money for your great times 100 grandchildren. Because they will need it. They will need those beachfront properties once the continent splits apart. So yeah. That was my short for the week, and planning on doing another one this upcoming week, and yeah, we shall see about. But we shall see what I will make it about. So stop sharing. Boom. Okay, we are back, and yeah, 27 minutes. Okay, so 3 more minutes, I guess. What am I going to talk about? There's no new comments. Okay, sure. Yeah, it wasn't very like I said, it wasn't a very popular stream, this one right here, but yeah, it's just a few months. Yeah, decent. That was before that. Yeah, but it was at least still, like I said, I'm just doing this mostly for also just kind of venting, just because I want to, and I just talk on stream because it also lets me kind of practice a little bit of public speaking. Although I'm not sure what I would do if like suddenly I got rated or something and there would be like 100 people in watching or something like that. That would be chaotic, honestly. And like I always love to respond to every single comment, but at that point, it would be impossible. So I admire all these like big streamers that got like 6,000 views, live viewers. It's really admirable what they're doing and how they handle it and stuff like that. So maybe one day, hopefully, like from this to an actual streaming. I don't think I would want to do a streaming career. That's just like, I don't know. I don't feel like that's the life for me. Although like getting paid to play games, it always sounds very how would I put this? It always sounds very lucrative, but then you kind of realize like all the stuff that goes into it, and it's sometimes hard to do this stuff. Then you have like people that you got to cater to, and like you have an audience at that point, and you just cannot do or talk about what you want to talk about. It's more like you cater to all those people that want you to talk about other stuff and play other games, and and also you have to like stream for a while, right? And I'm not there yet. I did, over the summer I did in one day I did 2 4-hour live streams, basically almost 4 hour. I think it was like total of like 7 because I just couldn't. The second stream, it was terrible. Like the stream itself wasn't terrible, but it was like I was just exhausted. I didn't expect from just sitting there looking at a computer screen and just speaking and talking and offering my services and all that stuff. I didn't realize it was going to be that taxing, like because you just assume that streaming, sitting down, talking and looking at our computer screen is not that taxing. But surprise, surprise, it is pretty taxing. Anyways, 30 minutes, right on time. So, thank you for watching. Thank you for joining up. For those who have stayed, well, if you're watching this back, if you've been here the entire time, thank you for watching all the way to the end. And you know, like the stream, subscribe if you want to see more. And like I said, stay tuned for that Friday night Coke-a-thon probably. We'll see how that goes. I'll probably create the event like now or something like that. And yeah, and I'll try to say I'll hopefully get some impressions. Hopefully it gets you know people watching and stuff. Like 500 impressions is a very huge ask of LinkedIn as of late. So maybe not that, but at least something. That'd be nice. It would be boring just talking to nobody or just like my dad. Like no offense, of course. Like some of those conversations can be really good, but it would be really boring if nobody else just joined and nobody else gave their input. So it'll be boring. So yeah, but no. Anyways, so stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for that short. Stay tuned for more videos. A lot of stuff coming up, and yeah, thank you very much for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Have a blessed Sunday, and yeah, I'll see you next week. Well, on Friday if you're there, and next week on Sunday. Same time, same event. It's gonna be a different name. That's the only difference, but the same time, and yeah, but same kind of schematic. So thank you very much for watching. See you at those two streams, and have